Good morning. This is part 17 of the Shafston Great House story, and today is the 14th of May 2023. And in this part, I want to talk about why the business declined, why didn't keep up like it was at the beginning, because many people ask me that. Um, there are several reasons for that. Uh, At the beginning, I basically concentrated on the backpacker market. The place was very primitive. I had basically only beds in there. The current went out sometimes. The water would sometimes go out. The road was terrible. Everything was in a very primitive state. And so I just had very low prices for the people, for the backpackers, and they just loved this. It was just a unique adventure. They had the best time here. There was a lot of young people up here, and it was just party, and they didn't really care. The current went on. We had oil lamps. If the water went off, we had little tanks to where they could wash and do things. Um, so they they accepted all that because it was cheap and it was a big adventure. And as I said, over the years, I've had many people tell me they had their best time of their life in Shaftston. Now, around the turn of the century, I had made some quite substantial investments. I had like built a larger pool. I had built a jacuzzi. I had built the bar. I had put in solar hot water. I had like done a lot of work here, and so I basically started raising my prices because I wanted to come out of um, the the backpacking thing only because that did not really make me any money. It just turned over money, and then a there was a situation where I don't know if you guys remember. It's like in the beginning of 2000 there was a dot-com bubble crash, and yeah, that caused a lot of problems because the flights to Jamaica from Europe, from especially from Germany, there were 9 flights before, and after that crash, there was only one flight left. And on that one flight, there was one Condor flight left, and on that one flight, there were actually only 9 seats available on the free market. Yeah, and so we basically got reduced from 9 flights, 9 whole planes to 9 seats, uh, um, because the rest of the seats were booked by hotels and so on. So then the whole situation changed here. The guest houses, which before we had very friendly relationships to each other, and they basically started like everybody was fighting for each guest who came here, and it was a very sort of horrible situation arose out of that. And yeah, and that led to quite a substantial decline. And then at the same time, I had like upped my prices, so people would say, "Oh, Frank, you're too expensive now. We can't afford that anymore." And my thinking was before, like, first you get the young people, and then later they have better jobs and have more income, and then they can afford more, and then they come back. But it doesn't always work that way. People say, well, because they have me in the category, it was cheap and nice and party and so on and so on. And then when they suddenly have more money, well, we could go other places and so on, because they have more options, of course, with more money. And then they forget about you. And another thing that happened is that I basically one of my main things is that I um, looked after my guests very well, and really made sure to have a personal note, because that is like if you're in a remote location like this, that is very important, because if you're in have a guest house in Negril now, you could just have the rooms and so on, and you check them in, and then they do what they want to do. They go out and go to restaurants and so on and so on, and so you don't really, this the personal note is not really important. But if you're in a remote location like this where people cannot go out, couldn't go somewhere else, the personal interaction is very important between the guests and the person running it. And that's always, I stress that always, and made sure that, and it was fun too. It was just fun sitting around with people and having interesting talks and so on and so on. And then I had I met a girl here who I fell in love with, and she fell in love with me too, and we were very much in love. And she ran the place really well. I did the tours and the outside things, and she would run the place, and she did a fantastic job. It was really, really well kept and everything. And in the evenings, we would have everything ready for the guests. They have the bar, the ice ready, and so on and so on. And we tell people, okay, look here, you can help yourself. Everything is there, and we would just do our thing and have our private life. And that did not go too well, because it just was a different atmosphere suddenly. People would call me and say, "Oh, we're coming back for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and going to stay with you," like always. And then suddenly, there was not that same atmosphere anymore. And people would, after 2 or 3 days, they would say, "Ah, Frank, I think we're going to move on, because we haven't seen any part of the other island, and this time we want to, see some other things." And basically, I knew why. And this went on for a year, and I actually, very unfortunately, managed to mash up a lot of my return guests with that. And so that was that. And yeah, so I think I'm going to do a part two on this series in English. And for now, I'll close off with that. So have a wonderful day, and please like and subscribe. Let this channel grow, because I want to use this channel to regenerate, um, make people come back and realize that the place is still open and it's really nice and same beautiful. And now I'm not in a relationship, so I'm really have full attention to my guests again, and it's fun sitting down in the evening, having a drink with them, talking to them, and like and subscribe, and please make a little donation. Times are very hard for me at the moment. Coolestcam@gmail.com with C is my PayPal address, and I have a bank thing on with some of the descriptions for the people who are in Europe who don't have PayPal account. So that would be great. And pass on the videos, make this channel grow. I have some. When this channel has grown in a certain way, I'm going to outline plans I have, which might be very interesting for a lot of people, because I think a lot of people are getting a bit fed up with what is going on in Europe, especially in Germany, and I might offer a way out of the whole situation. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. See you in the next video.